Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Essential Pedagogy. I'm Steph, the educator, and I am in the middle of summer, y'all. I got my little tank on. I am trying to be golden, get this brown golden skin. I have been doing some reading, some studying, lots of things over the holiday. Canadians call it a holiday when it's an extended vacation. I want to be a Canadian. These people take their vacations like a month at a time, and they really know how to vacation. I don't think I know what it means to vacation, but I am going to do um, an experiment on really vacationing. Right. So what I mean by this is I'm in America. I'm in Texas. Uh, Most people call it the South. And what I found is that Americans, compared to the rest of the world, we have an unhealthy relationship to work. And I think some of our paradigm shift started happening over the pandemic, even though we have plenty of people who are world travelers in the United States. They travel around the world. We get to see how other people live, work, play. But we have continued a trend of overworking ourselves for no reason. And now I feel like the paradigm shift happened over the pandemic, where people had an opportunity to sit back and see, while they were working at home, what really is important. Their families are important. Their schooling, their education is important. But I think we feel that with other things, and uh, other entities in our lives have uh, found a way to push through and filling whatever empty state space we've tried to create. Say, for instance, we work from home, and I've eliminated my 2 hour commute to and from work. I have eliminated spending excess money for going out to lunch and time doing that. So now I have at least 3 more hours of time of productivity to work. We may find that we are able to do more at home than we are going out to a physical office. However, I think social media, I know retail spaces have found ways to enter into our lives like no other time before, to the point where if we do traditional shopping, it used to be a time where we go to the mall, we go to our plazas, whatever they may be, to do our shopping, to figure out what things we like the best. And we could browse without stress. But I feel like today I went out for the first time in a while. I find that if you get out when you're on vacation, you tend to spend money. If you get out on time off and you are working with the same budget that you had when you were working at a place, then you tend to spend money. So you're like, okay, I'm finally out. I'm commuting to this shopping place, and now I need a snack, girl, because my breakfast didn't just hold up. So I need a snack. So I get a snack. I'm walking around. I smell the good things. I look at the beautiful things. And one thing I have tried to do is it was right before the pandemic. I started saying to myself, I am enough, I have enough, I do enough. That was one thing that I started to do. So I'm okay with sitting on my patio and drinking the coffee I make at home, and reading a book, which I need to update you guys on that. I got about probably about 75 pages left in my first book, and Lord Jesus, I don't have much time for the second book, so I downloaded it on Audible. Okay, so so you get in these spaces and you start browsing, and you're like, okay, I know, what my bank account looks like today. I'm just gonna go and browse, be around people, see what's in style, because I'm not understanding the style necessarily. Uh, I'm waiting to see the styles. I see some. We got a denim style. We have a flat shoe style. But I want to see some things for myself. I want to experience some things. Shopping is not the way it used to be. You used to could go and peacefully experience a fragrance, experience trying on shoes, doing some things without people heavy duty patronizing you. I think that the retail industry have done a lot of study about creating a frenzy and an urgency to buy things. And it's really, really expressed, I guess, exponentially when you're in person. Over social media, they keep talking about this anniversary sale for Nordstrom's. I have the Nordstrom app, y'all. I got to keep up with when the size fours come out, because they either make one pair of size four in shoes, or there's a million people with a size four shoe that's buying the same shoe I want to buy, and I'm waiting for a sale, but they don't, and that messes my bank account up. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. People, I had to get with a lady today about, you know, having a very patronizing, really, um, mm, a attitude of you don't know. What I do know is what I like. I do know that. And I'm asking you a question like, what are the notes in this fragrance? Because guess what? I buy fragrances and I know a little bit about notes, and I see the label that says Tonka and something else, and I see those notes. But I do know most fragrances have more than one or two notes. So I'm asking you for further information. And instead of saying, hey, you know what? Let me look that up, she is replying to me, it has Tonka and, I guess let's just say vanilla. Tonka and vanilla in it. I said, I see that's what the name of the fragrance says right here, because I can read. But can you, okay, never mind. I'll look that up on Google. I thought if I come in person, then maybe I can learn something from you. But I guess people aren't educated. Anyhow, another, I moved on to another fragrance, and I'm like, oh, let's see what this smells like. Oh my gosh, it smells lovely. I like this. This is something that I'm thinking about buying for myself. It's light and fresh, and I'm looking for another summer scent. And so it's in a contender with another scent I'm thinking about. And I ask about it, and this lady tells me it's the last bottle. And I said, in life, like, it's the last bottle we have. I said, so I won't be able to get it anywhere in the world? Like, woman, stop trying to make me buy something because you think I'm stupid. Like, at least say, you know what, it's the last bottle. And I'd really love for you to take advantage of to getting the last bottle here. So what she said was, oh, they're discontinuing it. And I've bought discontinued fragrances too elsewhere because it's not the last. I promise you. And furthermore, people copy fragrances all the time. All I need to know is the notes and get it somewhere else. Woman, I'm not that desperate. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. Which goes back to us overworking. Well, I feel like us Americans, we have an unhealthy relationship with work. We self identify as our work. We pile up more work on ourselves than we need to. We also allow other entities to give us more work by not taking the time to do things and focus on one thing at a time. And we have become more and more ADD and ADHD. And I'm trying to get myself and my mind pattern off of that by listening to silence more, um, by intentionally not doing anything and freeing my mind from looking at my phone and listening to someone else talk, even reading sometimes. I just want to free my mind from everything. And then when I do focus on something, I'm trying very, very hard to focus on the one thing. And this is hard because we are multitaskers. And studies show that we do not multitask well. We do not do it well, friends. We don't. We do not do it well. And we still do it. We still look at Google, Googling something, working on a presentation, looking at YouTube all at the same time, uh, having something uh, in our backgrounds with noise. Y'all, this takes energy. And this may be the reason why some of us aren't really sleeping well at night. My strategy, I'm trying to get up early in the morning and get my workout session out the way. And I'm even trying to write down what segment of time, like during this time and this time, I am going to do my morning walk. I'm going to intentionally take 2 out of the 3 walks without my uh, AirPods and just look at people and listen for rustling in the grass or looking at the trees and the leaves move instead of absorbing another podcast, another news show, another talking to a friend. I want to like intentionally have that time to just like, look, I got to zero in on the things that I really want to get done in the day and think about what I'm grateful for and think about what I need to do to show others I love them. I don't think we start our day enough like that. I think we do start our day with an agenda, what we need to do. I need to pay this bill. I need to do this. I need to make sure that, check my account. I need to follow up with the attorney. I need to do this, that, and the other. I need to, go buy a gift because I'm invited to this party. But I think sometimes we need to just take a beat and say, hey, I need to figure out, especially me, because I don't have young children at home, like, what what's important to me. Let me take a beat and think about, what is what am I doing? What's my new calling if I have one? Am I walking out my calling? Am I doing a good job with following up with people? One thing I've tried to do this summer that I haven't been so successful at um, any other summer is I have intentionally reached out to people and say, you know what? Let's have lunch. Let's try to make it happen. Let's do it. Like, how do I need to meet you? Instead of what would be fair for both of us, like, what is your schedule, because I'm free right now, right? I am going out of town this day, but I'm free right now, so how can I get to you? What time would you be available? Girl, I haven't talked to you in 4 years. I'ma call you instead of just text you or message you on Facebook. I'ma call you and just say, hey girl, nothing. Just want to hear your voice. Want to catch up with you one day. Let me know what your schedule is. Same with family. Hey, I want to do a better job at being a better sister, a better mother, um, as far as being available and having my mind just available to my children instead of, uh, hey, I got to do this, I got to do that, but being real accommodating, and being generous to myself so I can be generous to others, and not feeling guilty about it. I tend not to be uh, guilty about um, getting myself some nice things. You know what I tend to feel guilty about? I tend to feel guilty about spending time with myself and not having it filled with something that would sound productive to someone else. So when people talk to me, hey girl, what you been doing? You know, resting. That is doing something, is actually resting. And I have a hard time with that. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with that also. I absolutely had a hard time and still do have a hard time resting. Um, I have a friend who told me, if you just don't relax, if you don't take some time to relax, and I was like, I'm not doing anything. What you want me to go run a store for you? What you want me to do? And they were like, just relax. You work hard enough. And even though I say to myself, I am enough, I do enough, I have enough, I don't say it enough. And I need to say it more. And I need to have it drilled in my head, in my heart, in my spirit. But I think part of our fiber as Americans, especially as African Americans, not even African, I'm not an African American, I'm a Black American. I didn't come from Africa, so I'm just going to just not, I'm just, that's how I feel about that. Not to say anything about, not to have any slights against true African Americans, people from Africa that now reside in America. I feel like Black Americans have an unhealthy relationship with work at times, the working class Black Americans, because we were reared by people who worked too hard, died too early, and did not take the time to rest, did not take the time to sleep, but did not see an issue in it. And all I'm saying is, when I'm trying to know better, so I'm trying to do better. that's all I'm saying, is that I see the unhealthy relationship during my time off from work, and I am committed to doing better, not just in my time of rest, but even in my work cycle of when school is back in session. I want to be able to leave work at work, thought and indeed. I want to be able to feel good about that and not guilty about that. I don't want to resent my job because I truly enjoy children, and to I want to continue to really enjoy my time working with children until I retire. To the moment I retire, I want to enjoy it. And I feel like that it will be eroded if I don't take adequate rest. That's quiet time. That's time away from my phone. That's time away from movies and things. That's actually resting. Yes, I've gained a couple of pounds, but it ain't from me resting too much. It's from me not being committed to moving my body. And so that's a different thing. I want to I want to lose a little bit of the stomach um, girth I have going on here, but I feel like I can have a balance. People say there's no such thing as work life and private life balance, but I'm willing to die trying. I'm willing to die trying to express it, to live it, and to have it. I am. So let's talk about my book, y'all. I don't know if in my old age I have gotten more emotional. I don't know. I don't know if it's my commitment to doing some kind of hormone replacement while I'm in my working stage of my life. But I have had to put my book down a couple of times from anger. I'm angry with the character. Sometimes I feel like the character Jim is giving up, and then other times, and I know it's right around the corner where I will see him do other things, and I know that's good writing to get you emotional and to think that things might end tragically when you have so much of the book to read, right? But if you don't know, I'm reading this book called Jim. It's by Everest. Oh my gosh, I don't know his last name. He's up for a Pulitzer Prize. He's out of California. It is a book that is about um, written as a companion to like Huckleberry Finn. It's called Jim, Jim. And it is a phenomenal book. So it is from the black man, the enslaved runaway man that was on a journey with Huckleberry Finn on the journey. So the author was such a big fan of the book and the writing, read it several times. He decided, as an African American, yes, African American, um, JIM, African American professor and writer, that he would write the journey of Jim from his perspective. And I was so impressed, especially from the very beginning, where Jim um, was portrayed as an African American who spoke well, but had to speak like an enslaved person would be expected to speak. in the presence of white people. I was really impressed by that. And it made my mind go to so many places of how excellent um, Black people are and how it can be hidden in plain sight. And so I was very pleased with that part of the book. And then there are other times where Jim experienced adversity. I'm not going to tell the whole story. And I felt like he gave up. And I'm throwing the book across the room like, oh, how you going to give up? Like, you super smart. Like, you can't just give up. Like, uh, but I pick it up again and I see where the author is playing with my emotions and he's doing a real good job. So I'm enjoying that book. There's another book that I am going to listen to because I do not think I have it in me to finish this book before school starts. And this book is called, oh, it's by a Latino guy, a Chicano guy. Where is that book? Okay, let's see my library. Oh, Chicano Frankenstein. So his name is Daniel A. Olivius, and he's out of LA as well. And I am so excited about reading this book. I heard an interview he did. I think I heard it on NPR, and I cannot wait to read this book. It's kind of based off, I don't know. I love when people reimagine nostalgic stories. So this is like a reimagined, futuristic Frankenstein. And if you know about Frankenstein, um anyway, so this book is reimagined with like politics and about human compassion, about equity, which is a word that people are trying to abolish in language of our um, and our laws and things like that. So you know, things can look like it's we're in despair, but know that there are people, intelligent people, who are doing some things, who are not um, giving up, and I'm not going to give up. The road ahead, I hear that the group that's coming up to me this year is one of the hardest groups coming up, and since we came back for the pandemic, from the pandemic, and but I'm very optimistic that, you know, this will be my 22nd year teaching. Y'all, you know, my 22nd year teaching, and I'm just encouraged that I'm going to do my best. I'm going to reach the children I can reach. I'm going to be a blessing to those I can be a blessing to. And we just have to keep trying. We didn't get this far in America, in the world, and become as progressive as we have by giving up, by not um, believing in hope. And I believe that things can get better and will get better. Um, I believe that things can get worse and will get worse, but we also have to keep trying because what else can we do? What else? What else are we going to do? Give up? I don't have that give up spirit. And I think that's the reason why um, the book was frustrating me so, because I don't have the give up spirit, and I didn't raise my children to have a give up spirit. And I hope that in my classroom, in fact, I just thought of a theme for this year, and the theme is going to be fail forward. So if those who experience failure, you know, we we experience failure to thrust ourselves forward instead of giving up, having defeatist self-talk and things like that. I just want us to look at failure in a different way. If we fail, we're gonna we're gonna fail. We're gonna fall forward instead of um, falling into despair. I just I mean that. This world has got to be a better place for my children. I didn't work as hard and overwork for this life to be any different, but for us to fail forward and move on and keep going, and go against adversity and doing these things. Now, I'm saying this because yesterday I experienced a little anxiety because I'm on a group text with some of my coworkers, and the coworkers indicated that we have a duty schedule that was released through email, and buried in a parent square. And you guys don't know what parent square is. Maybe you are familiar, maybe you aren't. But parent square is a newsletter that goes out, and it can be a one-way communication, or it can be a two-way communication type dynamic. Well, it was buried in a newsletter about choosing a duty station, and things like that. And immediately I felt like, well, dang, we're not even on contract yet. Like, wait till we get to work before you start trying to make us think about what we want to do for work. You know what I mean? Like, can I think about what my personal goals are first for work before I start thinking about my mundane job, duties? And is it really fair for those who haven't finished their onboarding? Now it's not equitable, but I guess we not working with that word anymore. 2025 project. Um, but I I don't know. I experienced some anxiety and some stress and some annoyance. Did I tell y'all about that word? Annoyance. And I'm going to let you guys go. So there's a group of people, professional people, who do not like to say the word angry or mad or, God forgive me, pissed off. You don't like saying that. Do not like saying that. But we will say annoyed. And in my mind, being annoyed is a small nuisance. I don't know about you guys, but there is a population of people in that I run into in profession that will say, that was so annoying. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that bothered you a little bit. But then the reaction that they would have would be a large, pissed off, I'm mad kind of reaction. Like I'm an angry email and I'm CCing people and this is what we're going to do, or I demand that this happens, based off of your annoyance. And I felt like, now, I know a little bit about vocabulary, but I'm going to have to pay attention to what people really mean by their words. And I think I want to challenge everybody to just sit back and listen to people and what they say, and then what their actions are um, after, or what they mean by these words. Because I'm telling you, if I didn't pay attention last year, look, uh, I annoyed a lot of people and didn't know they were pissed off. I'm just saying. I, by mid-year last year, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what that word means. I'm annoyed." So, guys, I'm annoyed by all the unhealthy relationships we have with work. I'm annoyed with politics right now. I'm annoyed by how I'm being double charged by AT&T, and T, and I need to talk to them tomorrow about fixing this double charge. I'm annoyed by a lot of things, but one thing's for sure is I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep going forward. I'm going to fail forward. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to keep going, and I employ you and challenge you to do the same. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me at stephanieRpowell@me.com. That's stephanieRpowell@me.com, and I'll answer your questions. I am open to suggestions about future shows. And until the next time, I will see you guys later.